Well, it's delightful to be back at St John's after nearly years. I graduated from here in 1980 with a degree in geography. I've just stepped down from my last big corporate job. I've worked in a variety of industries, from the shipping and logistics industry through the oil and gas energy industry, and more latterly in a standards development, publishing, consulting and advisory firm. I've lived and worked in 6 or 7 different countries in Asia, the Middle East and across Europe. I've worked across a variety of sectors, large companies, small companies, private companies, public companies. But even when I've been based in the UK, I've always been travelling, I've always been involved in a business that had a global footprint, whether it's clients or operations or supply chain. It was never planned. If anybody had said to me 40 years ago, that is what I would end up doing, or then I would never have imagined that. And it wasn't a conscious plan to go A, B, C through these jobs and these opportunities. Like a lot of things in life, opportunities appeared, or I created opportunities, and I stepped into them. I don't think I've ever used anything in terms of subject matter really in my course, but it was what I learned about myself and how to manage timetables, workloads, deadlines. Those skills were valid studying geography. They're equally valid in a business application. Don't think that the choice of your university subject will define you necessarily for the rest of your life, because as my career proved, there were many opportunities to reinvent yourself. To go off and do things at a tangent, which bore no relation whatsoever to what you might have studied. But what you studied actually gave you the core skills and the core experiences to enable you to not just to think about that, but actually to be successful in whatever you pursued. It's not, these days, the first job it will not define you for the rest of your life. The current generation of people will probably change companies more often than I did, will probably change jobs more often than I did, and probably change sectors or maybe even countries more often, because the variety and the speed of change is so great. So being aware of that and adaptable enough and receptive to that, seeing that not as a challenge but actually as an opportunity. If you're clear about who you are and what you want to do, good companies will always find you, and you will always find a role. There might be some gaps in between, but if you don't throw yourself onto the market, you will never know what else you can do. There's a difference between a job and a career. A job is what you do today and what you're going to do for the next month or so. But a career is a sequence of jobs, and those sequences are often not linear. Sometimes the sequence goes that way, or completely disconnects and you start a new chain. Companies do not want clones of individual subjects or experiences. Companies thrive on diversity in the broader sense of the word. There are some people who are very focused, who academically and career-wise focus very deeply on one topic and one subject, and that's fine. We need specialists, otherwise things don't move forward. But at the same time, you need generalists who are able to make sense of all the specialisms and bring them together. Not just in terms of creating a business, but creating teams of people who can collaborate, who can share, who can have a common vision and a common mission. Good companies are hybrids of all those skills. Young people are often, they think, why would a company want to employ me? Put yourself in the shoes of the company. You're trying to grow a company, you're trying to expand, you're trying to do new things. You're desperate for talent. You want really good people to join you. They don't have to be the finished product. You just want, in many cases, raw talent that you can shape and grow, and they can bring energy and ideas into the business. So don't feel as if you're not qualified or not experienced. Of course, if you're in your early 20s, you haven't got 10 years experience in that industry. But in many cases, that's not important. Companies are looking for the raw material, the raw talent of people to come in who are smart, who are energetic, enthusiastic, can work in teams, are creative, can communicate well. Being able to, just simple things like being able to read and write and speak clearly is really important. And if you do all those things, then the world is your oyster in a company. with business, because business is so diverse, I would just say, the sooner you can get in and experience life in it, whether it's a 1-week work experience when you're at school, or a 1-month internship between school and university, or a summer internship in a company between your university years, for example, if only just to experiment and see what the world of business is really like, not what you imagine it's like, but actually in the real world, but also experience lots of different companies and different sectors to find out what you like and what you don't like, and that hopefully will give you a better idea when you start applying for jobs after university about what you think you will do. People might look, for example, at the gas industry and think, well, how can I know nothing about gas. It's not the point. I knew nothing about gas before I went into the industry. You don't have to be a subject matter expert on the industry. You will learn that through working in that industry over many, many years. So whether your passion is commercial development around sales and marketing, or engineering and technical, or transportation, or financial and economic management, or in business strategy, for example, look below the level of the high level, what the company says, and look at what they do and all the components of that business, and try to find where you think, because obviously people start their careers lower down an organisation, and that's where all the different divisions are. That's how you get into an organisation, through an area of specialism, and then obviously you can grow within that specialism, or what many people do, including myself, you then move across specialisms. Building complementary skills, and I suppose as an individual, understanding what your core skill set is and what you're offering, and maybe where you might need to supplement your skills, either bring people in or develop them yourself, is really, really important. Because we're not the same people when we're 60 as we are when we're 20. And the world in 40 years' time is not the same place. Have camaraderie with people and respect for other people. Be ambitious, be progressive, push yourself, etc. But always remember that there's other people in the world. Take people with you. Have empathy. Have companionship. Have camaraderie with people and respect for other people. So flexibility, adaptability, resilience, all those things in business are really, really important. But those are life skills, I think, that you can learn through experience, or you've got them, and if you haven't got them, I think being self-aware to know how you adapt to situations when life has a habit of throwing things at you.